I'm Noni from ThermoFit and I am here today to help you understand manual cooking so that you can be super confident with your Thermomix and use it all the time. Now there are three main ways to cook with your Thermomix. There's manual modes, and guided cooking. Now I'm just going to focus on manual specifically in this video. I'll make separate videos on the manual modes and the guided cooking. Manual cooking is where you would use your Thermomix to just convert your own recipes from non-Thermomix recipes, whether you're confident enough to just make something up and whip it up, or you're following a Thermomix recipe from a recipe ebook or online. Now with manual cooking, this is our home screen that we'll see, and we are in control of the time, the temp, and the speed. Whichever circle is large on the screen is the one that our dial here will control. So for example, this is our time on the left. We can control the time, and we tap in the middle. This is our temperature. So that goes all the way up to what we call Varoma, which is the top temperature in manual setting. And then on the third one here is our blades. Now, as soon as I start to turn this dial, the blades will start and the bowl will lock into position, as so. Another note here is that reverse is activated on the manual home screen just by pressing the blades underneath that speed dial. Now, in case you didn't know, quickly side note what reverse is, it's where the blades spin on the blunt side. So if you just want to mix something without chopping it down, that is what you'll use. And another side note, in order to use the heat in manual mode, you have to have the timer set up to be counting down, otherwise the heat will not activate. To get your home screen back to zero, you can just hold it down and it will zero itself back, instead of clicking on the dial and turning it all the way down. You can either tap on the dials, or you can also press this button in to switch between the time, the temp, and the speed. So you may want to do that if your hands are a little bit dirty from touching all your food. The basic cookbook has loads of good resources in here. So this is the one that comes with your Thermomix. Maybe yours is still wrapped in the plastic, I don't know. But if you want to get it out and open it up, you'll see at the beginning and at the end of the book, there are lots of different resources to help you understand how to use your Thermomix manually. Starting from page 307, you'll find the resources on how to do things manually. For example, if you just want to grate something or chop something or steam some vegetables, this will guide you on what to set your Thermomix time, temp, and speed up depending on what you want to make. There's a breakdown of all of the different functions here, so have a look through. It's some really valuable and will really help you. I highly recommend having a look through these functions. It will definitely help you get a grasp on manual cooking. And it will also mean that you're not locked into a recipe and that you can just use your Thermomix for basic things as well as full recipes. Also head to pages 16 to 19 because they give you a really good description about what speed represents what function. And once you get your head around what speed represents each function, you will be able to just whip something up from scratch, cook with whatever you've got on hand, and just get really creative. Now here are some tips for new Thermomix owners and people who want to learn more about their Thermomix and use it for manual cooking. Number one is be patient with yourself. It's learning something new. Just how you learnt to use the fry pan or any other appliance, it is just going to take a little bit of time as it's something new, but it's totally worth it. Secondly, don't be afraid not to try something in fear of it maybe failing. It might fail, but it might not, and it might just become one of your regular favorites. What's the worst that could happen? And thirdly, take it step by step if you need. So when you're cooking with a recipe from Cookie-Doo, take a bit of notice about what it says at the bottom. So for example, I'm gonna turn this and it'll tell me what it's doing. It's sauteing. So each time, just when you're cooking a recipe on Cookie-Doo, just check in on the screen and see what it's telling you. And then you'll understand, okay, when I have it set up on that, it is sauteing or it is chopping or it is blending. The next step might be making Thermomix recipes from a recipe ebook or a printed book or online and just practice setting the time, the temperature, and the speed based on what the recipe tells you. And then lastly, get creative. Just try different things and learn to convert non-Thermomix recipes. And I can't stress enough that if you're a new Thermomix owner, getting in early and learning how to use your Thermomix manually will just create the most positive impact with you and your relationship with your Thermomix. Now, I want to know, have you used your machine manually? Was this helpful? What do you cook manually with your Thermomix? Let's talk about it in the comments.